Welcome, James.
For having me on.
I am so glad to have you on. James is going to be one of, let me look at my cheat sheet here, 56 authors. We're going to have about 48 genres and around 308 titles. So it's going to be a crazy day. So, James, tell us about the books that you're going to be bringing to the festival.
Well, I'll be bringing six titles with me, and actually, it'll be on the eve of my seventh book publishing. So, kind of a fun fact there. So, here's what I'll be bringing with me to the event. The first three of my ongoing Ice series: Ice Rising,
Mm-hmm.
Icebox, and Ice Rain. Now, for
Okay.
those of you that are into crime thriller, you'll definitely want to come to my table. So the Ice series is about a young man's rise in power, initially taking up a life on the street, joining gangs to protect family and those that he loves. With his knack for business, he rises in power. He ends up going to prison, getting out, and then has to go to war with his boss. So definitely a lot going on. And for those of you that pick them up, giving you a heads up that the fourth book in the series, the rough draft has been finished and will be publishing later this year or early next year. I'll also be bringing my latest published book, The Melody of Shattered Gold, also
Ooh.
my longest book to date. This is a mafia thriller and a standalone prequel to The Ballad of Johnny Carlo, which I'll also be
Ah.
bringing. Again, these are both crime thrillers. The Melody of Shattered Gold is about a mafia family that's at war on two fronts, while at the same time trying to groom one of their younger members to one day head the family. The Battle of Johnny Carlo takes place roughly 5 years afterward and is about a mafia hitman and a homicide detective who end up falling in love but are targeted by the same shadowy cabal that the mafia has become a part of.
Ooh.
Last but not least, Life's Dark Corners. So if you're not really yet sure if crime thriller is your genre, maybe you're just trying to kind of dip your toe into the pool, this is a collection of short stories. Five short stories, five epic tales of crime, and definitely come and check them all out.
Awesome. And such a great collection of stories and say I'm looking forward to you have a fourth in your other series. That will be awesome to see. What else should we be expecting from you in the next coming months or years?
Well, on June 30th, my seventh book, a dark romance thriller dubbed Under the Pain, will be coming out. And it'll be on Kindle Unlimited, and paperback, all on Amazon. Um,
Okay.
for anybody who's interested in a sneak peek, you can go to my link tree. That's linktr.ee slash James Michael 79 for a free teaser, the first two chapters.
Nice. So, how did you get writing about crime fiction?
I've always been fascinated with crime fiction, crime thriller. It's probably my favorite genre to read. And, you know, growing up, my favorite movies were like Godfather, Goodfellas, Casino, um, um, what's the movie with Johnny Depp? Blow,
Mm.
Bronx Tale. I just loved it. And, when I finally picked up the pen or got the keyboard, started writing my first book, um, it just I just kind of wanted to write my own. I wanted to kind of add my name to the halls of authors. I always kind of envisioned like this large hallway full of these monumental statues of all these great authors. And I was like, you know what? Maybe there's a spot in there for me. And I like to think I have one in there now. So, mission accomplished. But yeah, I've always liked crime. I was a true crime fan, still a true crime fan. Um, Still dabble into it, and yeah, but I really like thriller as well. I always
Hmm.
love to leave people guessing, uh, have them at the edge of their seat, not know what's going to happen. And because I'm a pantser writer, I'm kind of like the first reader of all my books. I'm writing. I'm actually writing my ninth book, the sequel to the Ballad of Johnny Carlo, and
Hmm.
it's really like I have no idea where it's going. I'm 300 pages into it, and
Ooh.
I'm still surprised by what's happening. So yeah, I love crime, love thriller, add them together, and that's just my preferred genre. Right. I did expand into dark romance thriller because I also like some dark romance. So yeah, I just love thriller.
So, what is your day job, or is writing your day job?
Writing is not my day job, but that is the goal. Right now, I work for the Department of Corrections, which, and because I'm mentioning it, just like whatever we talk about on here regarding the Department of Corrections is my opinion alone. I spokesman or representative for the Department of Corrections. So, but that is
Hmm.
my day job. Pays the bills, great benefits, and you know, while I'm working there, manage my finances until I'm able to write full time because that's the goal.
So, you don't get enough true crime at work that that you still read true crime and then write crime fiction.
I think they're both symptoms of my fascination with crime, true crime. Oh,
Well, at least you're on the right side of the true crime, though. So that's a good
yes,
thing.
yes. I have no desire to switch.
That's a good thing. Writing about it is totally different than being in the thick of it.
Yeah, definitely. In a way, it lets me kind of live it out, I guess. Especially with my ice series, because it's all written in the first person, so it's like I can
Okay.
like pretend I'm that guy and write my own little fake story about, I guess, a manifestation of me.
Ooh. So, what do you like to do outside of work and outside of writing? I know you've got a family, you've got a wife, and how many children?
Three, three kids. My oldest just turned 7. The other,
Aw. So, what do you guys like to do outside of work?
together we like to go out, have fun. Got a lot of restaurants that we like to go to. There's a lot of different kids parks in the area that we like to take them to. We have some favorites. Um, by myself, I really enjoy reading. That's definitely my number one hobby. Video game. I'm into uh, martial arts, capoeira to be exact,
Mm.
and learning and traveling.
So, will your martial arts find its way into any of your stories?
It has.
It has already.
I have a little background, so yeah, it helps.
So, you've got the crime fiction, you've got the thriller and suspense, and you got some dark romance going on in the upcoming book. Do you have any other genres that you see yourself dabbling in?
Well, that's a good question. I'm definitely open to it. It kind of just depends on which ideas pop in my head. Um,
Okay.
Thriller is definitely the my main genre, uh, and I'm I would like to incorporate other genres in there with it. Maybe some sci-fi one day, some fantasy, maybe something more historical. Um, and yeah, I mean, usually my next idea hits me when I'm in the middle of writing what I'm currently working on. That's usually how it works. So I'm about due for a new idea, which will probably just burn a hole into my head So I finish my current work in progress, and then I can move on to that.
So you're a pantser. Do you, when an idea pops into your head, do you have like a notebook of ideas that you're going to be working on, or how do you organize that with being a pantser?
Well, I work on one project at a time. So, but what's good about that is while I am writing my current book, whatever my current project is, the idea that one idea stays fresh in my mind, and I get really excited to start it when I finish the current book that I'm working on. So it's kind of like an assembly line book, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, it just stays in my head really. I think of the premise and I'm like, wow, that's a great idea. It just kind of stays there. And yeah, I don't like to take on too many projects at once because that's how I feel I can get confused and forget things that I really don't want to forget about.
So with also with being a pantser and you've got two series going on, how do you have like a character bible for each of your series?
Um, if I do, it's kind of in my head. I'm really big with character development. All of my books are character based. So, and it's kind of like when I create a new character, they kind of stick with me. Like I'm kind of like I'm always in their company. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just thinking about all these different people. Kind
So do people that you run into on a daily basis ever make their way into your books as characters?
in a way, yes. Not like exact names, you
Right.
know.
Well, yeah, that would be dangerous.
And and any names that I do use are obviously for fictional purposes, not actually depicting real people. A lot of
Mhm.
my characters are sort of based on myself, just different parts of my personality.
Mm.
Uh, my wife as well, especially when I have strong female protagonists in my stories. A lot of them are kind of taken from her character. Uh,
Mhm.
I think Lisa Abraham, who is in Ballad of Johnny Carlo, she's one of the two main protagonists. She's heavily based on my wife. I guess Johnny Carlo would be a little based on me, except I'm not a hitman, so
Yeah, that would be a conflict of interest with your line of work.
it would be. Yeah, it'd be heavily disapproved of.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't like your night job. Um, so is your family going to come with you to the event on at the end of June?
That's a good question. I'm not sure yet. Of course, they have been known to surprise time to time with the surprise visits. So sometimes she'll say, "Okay, and I'll take the kids somewhere. Well, that's fine, and good luck." And I'll be okay, and then I find out that where they're going is to my event to cheer me on. And stuff.
Well, we are going to have lots of restaurants around, and um, there's also a indoor miniature golf that's nearby. So the kids may have some fun. And we may be getting a horse at our event.
My wife's scared, of course.
Uh oh.
May not be coming to this one.
Well, I'll just make sure to not put you next to the horse then.
Right, right.
But yeah, there's miniature golf. There's gonna be so much food there. Lots of restaurants around us. I think it's a Baskin Robbins. It's an ice cream shop of some kind. Don't
Love.
remember. Lots of food. It's the important things, Must have
Now I'm more
food.
excited.
So yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing you again in person because it's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
And uh, thanks for taking some time out of your day to share with us what you're bringing and what we can expect to come soon.
Well, thank you for having me on. Pleasure.
And I will see you at the end of June.
I'll see you.